Hey there, teacher friend. If you are new to me, my name is Brittany and I'm from Math with Minis, and I have a store on Teachers Pay Teachers as well as a website that focuses on helping upper elementary students build their skills in mental math, which includes math fact fluency. As of when I'm recording this, I know that a lot of you are still teaching online, or at least partially, if not completely remotely. And when I was doing that, I found that Jamboard was an awesome tool, especially for math fact fluency, because there are so many ways to create and facilitate resources that allow them to check the answers themselves. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can use Jamboard, great tool for online instruction, and I even have a Jamboard for you if you want to buy one and just not have to make your own. And in fact, the one I have has a slide in there for extra practice in case there are some specific problems you want for them to work on. So let's get into the tutorial. Let's show you how to use Jamboard. Okay, so now let's actually talk about how to use Jamboard specifically, and then I'll show you how this resource works. So Jamboard is really great if your students have low bandwidth or if they don't have a super fast internet connection, because you can do basically everything you need with the tools they give you in-house. You don't need to use a lot of fancy ink clip art and fonts if you don't want to. In fact, that's why I usually recommend anything that's going to be image heavy, especially if it's going to be part of the background, make it in PowerPoint first and then set it as the background. But let's assume you've already done that so that you know the other tools you can use. On the left side here, you have the little pen marker feature. So you have pen, marker, highlighter, and brush, and you just pick the color. Now, it doesn't have a whole bunch of color customization options, but it's meant to be simple. This is especially great for primary students, but I also find that upper elementary students who, again, have internet connection issues, or maybe if they're just struggling to develop their fine motor skills, this will be really great. Jamboard's also very tablet friendly, so if you don't have laptops, but if they have tablet devices, this would be great for them. Second tool on the left here is just an eraser, so if you use the pen or marker and you want to erase it, you can click that to erase it. Clicking on the little cursor icon just allows you to grab things, so I can go to the sticky note that I made here, and even if I just hover over it, I see the crosshairs and I can move it. But I can also just go to any other elements and move them around. So that's all the cursor is about. Personally, as an upper elementary teacher, the sticky notes are my favorite feature. Usually, if you're creating your own resources, whether it's to sell on a site like Teachers Pay Teachers or just for your own use in the classroom, you have to buy movable tiles from clip artists, right? But we can actually use the sticky notes feature to make these. So let's say I go to the sticky note feature here on the left-hand side. I can pick the color, any color I want. I tend to use a color code with my resources. I found that's easier for my students because they know that easy is always going to be green, medium's going to be yellow, hard's going to be orange, very hard is pink, and then any extra practice or any assessments I assign are blue. So I have that color code that kind of works with my students. I use that in my resources as well. You might want to come up with a different one, or you might just like to use different colors, totally up to you. Let's say you pick one, and we're going to go ahead and put 6 in there, and then we'll click save. And numbers aren't the only use for this. You can really use this for anything, right? But on this one, I have made a certain amount of tiles to match however many expressions there are with that answer. So if I find all the expressions that are either 2 times 3 or 3 times 2, I can move these over. So let's do that. And you'll see that I should have no more left. Yep, and that's it. And so that's a way for the students to self-check and see that, okay, I've moved all of the 6s onto the board. I don't see any more, so that means I'm good. I found all of the answers with 6. Now, it doesn't mean that they've put them on the correct tiles, but they'll still be able to self-check, because if they put the 6 over a wrong one, like 2 times 4, and they go through all the 8s later, and they find that there's an extra one. So let me just show you an example of this. Okay, oh no, there's still an extra one, so that means I put a 6 on the wrong one. So it's still really great because it gives students a chance to self-correct, and if they're getting one wrong, they can just work it out on their own and find the right answer. They don't have to let you know that they got anything wrong. They don't have to let someone else know. And what's really great is that you as the teacher can go in here. Now, I don't have any people in this class, but if I were like from the teacher view, I could click on this and I could click on that, and I can actually toggle through any of the assigned ones so I can see how students are doing. And if I'm having them do this in class, I can see in real time whether or not they're getting it. Then I can either send them a private message on Hangouts, let them know, hey, you didn't get this quite right, or I could even just comment on the assignment itself. If you wanted to add in some other shapes in Jamboard, you can click on this little icon. So it defaults to circle, but you can actually make any of these shapes. And let's just make a square here. and let's stretch it out. And then I can choose the fill color by clicking here. I can choose the outline by clicking here. Again, you don't have a ton of color options, but it's really good to keep it simple anyway. It makes it easier for the students. And this is another tool that I really love to use when teaching, especially when I want to highlight something important. So down at the bottom, we have this little laser feature, and it's always going to be red, but while you're teaching, if you're teaching with a Jamboard, see, like, you can circle something and then see how it kind of goes away. It makes a trail. So if I want to say, look, 4 times 2 here is the same answer as 2 times 4 here. So it's just a way to draw students' attention, especially when you're using a Jamboard to teach. And I know that a lot of schools and districts require for teachers to record their sessions in case students can't make it in person on the actual session. So another really great teacher to help with, another great tool to help with your instruction as a teacher. So yeah, those are the basics of Jamboard creation. If you're interested in learning how to actually assign a Jamboard in Google Classroom, be sure to check my channel for that video. I'll also link it in the description below. If you found this content helpful, I would absolutely so appreciate it if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click that little bell so that you never miss notification of a new video. If you have any questions, you're welcome to DM me over on Math with Minis on Instagram, or you can just drop them in the comments below and I'll get right back to you. Of course, if you, after watching this, are like, I do not want to make Jamboards myself, I am over this, that's totally fine, I understand. I have this exact Jamboard, the link to it on Teachers Pay Teachers below in the description, and a link to others. And I also have links to bundles. So if you know your students need lots of practice with all of the times tables, then go ahead and you can grab each one individually that they need, or you can just grab the bundle so you can save some money. And that's pretty much it. See you next time.